It's their best run in 5 years. We look at the table. If either team wins this afternoon, they go top of the Ninja A-League. Wellington Phoenix will be hoping for a draw, and Canberra, kicking off at the same time against Sydney FC, can really shake up the top 4 this afternoon. Melbourne City looking to make some noise and bring some support. They are in unfamiliar territory, coming off consecutive defeats. These two teams played on the 20th of January, so only recently a late Roar equaliser, earning them a 1-1 draw, and they will bring confidence into this match, having beaten Sydney FC 3-1 during the week, just 2 hours after Melbourne City had fallen to their own 1-0 loss to the Western Sydney Wanderers. You can see from those flags quite a strong wind at the City Football Academy Stadium control cyber pitch. Here's the Melbourne City lineup. 2 changes to the team beaten by the Wanderers. Letitia McKenna and Holly McNamara come in for Chinaza Uchendu and Carly Rosbacken. Danella Buttress is back from concussion. She's been out for the best part of a month. And Ellie Wilson is out for at least a month with an ankle injury. Holly McNamara scored a penalty in that game at Spencer Park against the Brisbane Roar back on the 20th of January. She's converted 4 penalties this season among her 11 league goals. Brisbane Roar make 1 change to the team that was victorious against Sydney FC, but it is a big one. Kaya Stevenson comes in for Bente Janssen. The Dutch national moves to the bench. Those two were substituted for one another after 73 minutes on Wednesday night, and Janssen remains among the subs for now. A big addition to the bench, you see the number 2 there, Angie Beard, the Philippines international and former capped Matilda, is back in the Ninja A-League for the first time since 2023 and back at the Roar for the first time since 2017. Momo Hayashi had to wait 10 games to break through for her first goal of the Ninja A-League season and then made it a double. A really stellar display in the centre of midfield against Sydney FC for the Roar captain, and she will have to get through a power of work once again today. Roar wearing their maroon away colours for this one today. Michael Matriciani had not experienced back-to-back defeats in charge of Melbourne City until Wednesday's game against the Wanderers, so he'll be hoping to avoid the uncharted territory of 3 defeats in a row. The last time that happened, it was a 5-game losing streak between January and March of 2021, and it is the club's record, an unwanted one. And Matriciani will be desperately hoping not to be challenging it. Today's referee is Isabella Mawson, getting the big appointment between these two teams at the pointy end of the ladder. Assistant referees are Laura Moya and Nicoletta Soteropoulos, and the 4th official is Shab Roshan. Alex Smith passed the milestone of being in charge of the Roar for the record number of games at the club with his 54th time in the dugout last game, and his team currently on this 7-game undefeated streak. It's their best run since December 2020 to Feb 2021. That was a 9-game unbeaten run, but 9 is only halfway to the club record of 18. So still plenty of successes to go if the Roar want to challenge the all-time record. Mariana Seidel at the heart of the Brisbane huddle there. 18 Keane back in the starting lineup. Her own goal was the difference between City and Wanderers during the week. She was subbed off at half-time as a result. 50th Ninja A-League game for Devon Jackson today as well, the New Zealand international you saw there. So the Roar will be taking kick-off and attacking the right of your screens in this first half at Control Cyber Pitch. A windy and warm day in the southeastern suburbs of Melbourne, and a big prize on the line. Winner goes top, and Wellington Phoenix fans watching on keenly, hoping for a draw that would leave them top of the league with a game in hand. Underway in this Ninja A-League Round 16 clash between Melbourne City and Brisbane Roar from Control Cyber Pitch. And straight away we have a big collision between Briley Henry and Mariana Seidel. And it's Seidel, the American, who has come off worse for wear. The trainer's being called already. Not even 10 seconds into the game, those two were colliding with each other. Here's another look. Briley Henry trying to get a run on, and Seidel had already gone to ground and appears to have borne the brunt of the impact to the face. or maybe the side of the head. And the Roar can ill afford this. There's a look at their bench. Among those subs, Ruby Cuthbert, who has been named as an unused sub for a string of games now, still waiting for her first minutes of the season. Angie Beard has only just signed a couple of days ago. Amali Kinsella has been sparingly used this season as well, only 14 minutes in her 4 sub appearances. And Kyla Hansen, who's yet to make her Ninja A-League debut. So the Roar players on the bench are very much almost emergencies rather than substitutes. And they'll be desperately hoping here that Seidel, the 24-year-old, is all right to continue. Joined the Brisbane Roar from Slavia Prague in the Czech Republic. There's a look at the Melbourne City bench. Danella Buttress there, waiting in the wings, hoping to make her return to action for the first time since the 16th of January. May only be 3 weeks on the calendar, but it has been 5 games due to City's busy schedule in that time. We're back underway. Seidel is okay to continue. And Melena Mires, as is so often customary in a Melbourne City game, is happy to roam out of the penalty area and help out the defence. A long diagonal ball here, headed by Josie Studer, out for a throw-in. Studer, another of the American connections in this Roar team. That long throw catches the wind and runs out for a goal kick, and that will be something to assess in this first half. Melbourne City will be hoping that they have it at their backs and to their advantage as a result. A situation like this, a goal kick will be a test for Chloe Lincoln, the 3-cap Matilda starting for the Roar today. She takes the wind on. It is a shallow goal kick. Apostolakis coming through. Ava Piazza with the clearance. Now the ball gets to ground level, but Amy Medwin comes through and clears. Taylor Otto in possession for Melbourne City. Well, it's a battle of will. Brisbane refusing to press when the ball is only at the edge of the midfield third. They are daring Melena Mires to wander further and further out of her penalty area. It's almost become a game of chicken. Well, someone's going to have to play, and now Ashlyn Miller finally gets things started by charging at the keeper. And that did force Mires to make a pass. Now Miller and Medwin combining here, but not able to win a throw-in for their team. Of course, Alex Smith was an assistant coach at Melbourne City in their women's program for a number of seasons, so he would know plenty about the City Football Group philosophy and perhaps how to counter it. Jackson with the square ball here, 18 Keane, looking for her left side, but can't fashion a shot. Tish Woods able to come in and win a free kick. Keane with 2 goals so far this season. And for those of you who watched the game back on the 20th of January between these two sides, she got into a real ding-dong battle with Amy Medwin, where Keane was attacking down the left flank and Medwin defending it right back for the Roar. Resulted in Keane getting booked for lashing out at Medwin, and then later in the game, Medwin giving away a penalty for a foul on Keane. Penalty that this player here, Holly McNamara, converted. Here's Apostolakis. 1-2 with Letitia McKenna. On the right wing, Briley Henry. McKenna, her passing channel blocked. Being forced backwards by Roar's aggression, so while it was a staring contest when the ball was at the feet of Melena Mires, it's far more combative in the midfield third. Here's Kira Myers with the throw-in now. City happy to reset. Shelby McMahon back to Rebecca Stott, and now Mires, and we set up and we do it again. Who is going to have the patience to endure these sort of scenarios on a regular basis. I think Mirez is going to hurry it up this time. Puts the ball onto the head of Seidel. Now hard against the line. Myers trying to take on Apostolakis. Now a back pass from Stott. Mirez. Ashlyn Miller trying to close down. Through comes Kaya Stevenson. Mirez is doubling back. Stevenson hooks the shot. What a chance for the Roar. And Milena Mirez, it is risk and reward when you join the outfielders as a goalie. And on that occasion, Shelby McMahon caught in possession by Kaya Stevenson, but she wasn't able to put the shot on target. Stevenson, who's been waiting almost a year, well, almost 2 years, in fact, since her last Ninja A-League goal, March 2024, the last time she scored. She missed all of last season due to a torn ACL. That would have been quite the marker to set down in this battle of top teams. Mirez now finding Jackson with the pass, but City a little rattled. They cough up possession. Medwin. Jackson turns straight into the challenge of Hayashi. Oh, and Momo charging through. But the foul is going Roar's way. There's the disappointment of Kaya Stevenson hooking that shot, and here's the infringement just a moment ago. I suspect that might have been a high boot against Shelby McMahon rather than the subsequent contact from Hayashi.
Yes, Lex.
So, into the wind, what do Roar do to approach this set-piece scenario? Mariana Seidel's the left-footed option. She takes a lot of their corners. She's going to leave this for the right-footed Woods. Looking for Hayashi, first header, and Mirez has bobbled it. It's free in the box. Medwin cuts it back. Stevenson! The Roar get their goal! They have started fast at control cyber pitch, and Kaya Stevenson is all smiles now after finding the back of the net. Redemption came quickly, and for the 24-year-old Stevenson, it is her first goal since coming back from an ACL. A big moment for her, and you see the technique to guide it over Milena Mirez, who fumbled the ball. Amy Medwin recycled it. And then Kaya Stevenson in for Bente Janssen today. Just goes to show that this Roar team, they might be down to the bare bones in terms of their squad due to a combination of injuries and also selling players overseas. But even when one of their big guns is on the sideline, the replacement comes in and the replacement stars. And so, on the live table, Brisbane Roar go top. Melbourne City, the gauntlet is thrown down to them. Studer. Yes, the good news for Melbourne City is that the Roar have only kept one clean sheet for the entire season. This is game 14, so they are not exactly rock solid at the back. They are gettable. Melbourne City need to attack. They need to venture forward. Not even 10 minutes gone. Lots of football still to be played. Apostolakis intercepted by Seidel. Myers caught by the backtracking Henry. Ooh, and Stevenson, maybe the adrenaline still pumping from the goal. Knocks over Henry. No hold to play. City wanting to take an advantage, but McKenna can't see a forward pass. Turner. Keane. Studer stops her in her tracks. Medwin. And now Hayashi. Studer up the middle. Chain of passes for the Roar. They still can't escape their defensive half. Medwin can't make headway. And big call for the assistant referee. Here's another look at the goal. It was just fumble fingers from Melena Mires, and then quick thinking from Ava Piazza to cycle the ball back out to Stevenson. And after missing the long shot only a few minutes before, she got a chance at a second one and put it over the head of Melena Mires, who was caught in no man's land off her goal line. So Melbourne City, who last season went undefeated through the entire home and away, they trailed 9 times, came back obviously to win or draw on all 9 occasions. This season, they have not had the same magic touch. And as we saw with the Western Sydney Wanderers, they were able to hold a 1-0 lead all the way to the finish line on Wednesday afternoon. Here is Mires. With this Ashlyn Miller pressing her all the way up. Studer leans into the header. Piazza, and now Woods. Of course, there are consecutive games going on at the moment in the Ninja A-League. They're all relevant to the battle on the ladder, so if you're enjoying the multi-screen experience, Sydney FC and Canberra playing at Leichhardt Oval at exactly the same time as this one. Michael Matriciani got the poker face on for now, waiting for a response from his team. And then later tonight, don't forget, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, the Western Sydney Wanderers hosting Adelaide United. And Adelaide would love to put their name back into the mix for the title as well. You get punished for a loss in this league, so it's almost a must-win for Adelaide. Playing last in the weekend. Mires. Hayashi seizes on the ball. Are the Roar going to go again? Is Stevenson going to go again? Kaya Stevenson is having a day out, and it's a disaster class from Melbourne City. Once again, the press effective. It was a misplaced pass. Stevenson slipped initially. Momo Hayashi gets the assist, and Stevenson, goal on the right, to follow up her goal on the left. She lashes it in, and Melena Mires has taken a seat for some treatment in the aftermath of the goal. Kaya Stevenson had 4 goals in 39 games coming into today. She has 2 this afternoon alone. I can tell you that at Leichhardt Oval, Bethany Gordon has just scored to put Canberra United in front. So the ladder is immediately going under some upheaval. Here's another look at the goal. Hayashi, Stevenson. Do you reckon she can score a header? Do you reckon she can get the perfect hat-trick this afternoon? She's got one on the left and one on the right. And the physio out to Melena Mires. Their backup goalkeeper is, of course, super veteran Melissa Barbieri. We haven't seen her on the pitch since April of last season. Looks like Mires is okay to continue. No suggestion that Bubs, there she is, 46 years young. Every time she sees the pitch, she breaks the record for the oldest player in the A-League. City are going to shoot from kickoff here. And well, with the wind at their backs, you can see just how forcefully that pinged into the perimeter fence behind the goal. Been able to make the most of it just yet. And now that stat that Brisbane Roar have only kept a clean sheet once this season, well, they've got a buffer zone. They've got a 2-goal lead, so it may not be quite as much of a concern as it has been in other games. Referee sees a handball. Needed to get play under control there, because I don't think the players heard the first whistle. Continuing to battle furiously for possession there after that initial handball by the 2-goal scorer. Home fans still making some noise, hoping that the lead can be halved in short order here on the back of a Letitia McKenna free kick. McKenna drops it at the penalty spot, skim header on, corner kick coming up. And issues for Momo Hayashi, who's going to look at the teammates. 4 different teammates running in to get the captain back on her feet. Don't think there can be too many arguments that it is a corner. There are the fans. So McKenna, free kick a moment ago, now the resulting corner. Honing in on the target, and first to react to the spill is Myers. Only as far as Apostolakis, and a header over the bar. Trying to fashion something there was 18 Keane. And again, with the wind behind you, even a glancing blow can accelerate there as it did for Keane, but it just didn't get down in the nick of time. Apostolakis with a solid header. Woods. Stevenson knocked off the ball by McMahon. Back to Lincoln. See McNamara is going to press here on her Matilda's teammate. Cleared away by Lincoln. Miller to Medwin. Medwin caught by Turner. City trying to capitalise. Stopped. Incisive pass. Shelby McMahon. Right up the middle, City go. Devon Jackson on the spin. And not quite enough to get it over Lincoln, who is one of the taller goalkeepers in the league. Right idea from Jackson, though. It was promising off the boot, but it wasn't. You have to measure a chip like that to perfection to beat the goalkeeper on their line. And that one came up just a little short. Medwin, good first touch. See, City have a plan for Medwin. They are trying to create a 2-on-1 every time she is in possession. I think they recognise just how much attacking drive she gives the Brisbane Roar. Errant pass here. McNamara is able to intercept from Seidel, who then goes to ground. And McNamara gives up possession. No touch from Seidel. Stevenson trying to find a way through midfield. Otto. Out to the right. Brought down by Henry. McNamara. First time cross. And no power behind the shot. Oh, it was promising build-up, but 18 Keane just stumbled. And it was time to really lash at the ball. Good play by McNamara. And the cutback was right to Keane, but probably... I mean, she's good on both feet, 18 Keane, but probably prefers her left. Time not able to get it right with a right-footed swing at the ball. Studer looks up at two pressing players. Hayashi. Piazza. Now Seidel. Daisy Brown yet to really get involved, the centre forward, and she's going to commit a foul here on Stott. Comes in good goal scoring form though, Brown. Scored in 3 consecutive games prior to this one. She's made a real impact. Only 10 games into her Ninja A-League career, the 19-year-old. Mires being pressed here by Miller once again. This time the pass finds a teammate. So, 20 minutes in. How does the table look? Brisbane Roar currently, as things stand, at top on 25. Phoenix game in hand on 24. Canberra, leading Sydney 1-0, are moving up to 24 points. And they have exactly the same record as Melbourne City. 24 points, plus 6 goal difference. 21 goals for, 15 against. So it's that close. Here's Hayashi. Little step over by Miller. Loses the attention of Otto, but she has to veer laterally as the Melbourne City defence gets back into position.
Yeah, identity ready to press. Good, that's half and half.
Seidel, long ball here, and even into the wind. That's got too much on it. And is collected by Milena Mires. Otto and McMahon. Mires. Dawdley on the ball this time. Long, hoping for McNamara, brought down by Seidel. Medwin. Turner in pursuit, and a well-timed slide challenge there from the veteran English player Daniel Turner. Medwin gets the throw. Hayashi. Brown. Attempted clearance from Turner and then hooked down the line by Keane. McMahon switching out onto the right flank, and Seidel is able to get to the ball before Briley Henry. Kira Myers up against her former team today. Myers, the Victorian, playing down in her neck of the woods as well. Not able to make headway there though. We'll get any change out of the City defence. Woods. Stevenson. Miller. Asking a lot of Medwin to go chasing that pass, and the ball is going to just beat Medwin to the line and out. But she's growing into the game, Amy Medwin. Starting to press forward more often. In a pretty good duel with Danielle Turner, the 34-year-old English player. Short goal kick, Mirez then decides to roost it long. Hayashi under the header. Jackson, McMahon. Postelakis. Briley Henry. Kira Myers interrupts briefly, and then a good slide challenge from Myers. Wins the ball back.
Devin, be ready! Devin, be ready! Yes, Dev! Yes, Dev!
That's Michael Matriciani you hear shouting at Devin Jackson to be part of the press on Chloe Lincoln, but Lincoln goes long. Daisy Brown playing centre forward. They're headed down, but can't nod it towards a teammate.
Fake it! Fake it!
And coughed up by McMahon. Hayashi pops the ball over to Stevenson. And Stott on the scene. The clearance only as far as Myers, but Myers can't make the most of it. Stevenson, well, at that point there, the heart rate would have accelerated, thinking maybe the hat-trick is on, but Rebecca Stott was quickly on the scene to starve her of a meaningful shooting chance. Still, that threat of the Brisbane trap remains. What solution does City look for here? Long ball is the answer. McNamara volleying on as far as Piazza. Alex Smith, if you had just a camera of him for the game, you'd never know if his team was winning, losing or drawing. To be honest, you'd think he's losing most of the time. He wears the stress on his face of coaching, even when his team's in front. Mirez onto the head of Keane, but what happens next is a bit of an issue for Melbourne City at the moment.
Good Dev, good Dev, good Dev!
Seidel, Piazza, deflected clearance, window of opportunity here for City. Henry, and Studer protects the ball, and well, McKenna ran it out all the way up to Chloe Lincoln.
Next!
And that was just that little break there, so important from Josie Studer, because McKenna still arrives with some momentum. And that was the difference between the keeper getting to the ball first, clearly, and potentially a disputed situation. Here goes Keane. Little jinking steps. Bit of a nibble in the form of a grab of the shirt from Studer, but play continues. Henry. Riley Henry. McNamara. Apostolakis. The build-up continues, and Roar, with a wall of players guarding the near post, able to repel. This time Apostolakis chasing a pass back towards the line, not able to keep it in. So the Roar defence able to hold out there as Melbourne City pass the ball around the edge of the penalty area. Stott takes the game on. Finds Jackson. Devon Jackson, or Hayashi, lunging in with a well-timed slide challenge. And a tap of the ankles here for Stevenson coming from McKenna. Look here at Momo Hayashi. Saw enough of the ball and just fully committed to the slide challenge, and then the free kick. That will get Brisbane Roar a little bit of relief. So the last time Brisbane won away to Melbourne City, it was, would you believe, the game after Adelaide beat them 8-2 back in early 2022. Their response to conceding 8 and 5 of them to Fiona Wirtz was to go to Kingston Heath, and Mariel Ecker's goal was the difference in a 1-0 win. Very different Brisbane team back in the 2021-22 season to what we have today. Studer finds its way out. Turner's pass. So Lincoln not being pressed on this occasion. Back onto the chest of Turner. 18 Keane. 1-2 with Jackson. Keane, really nice burst of acceleration into the box. And the cross finds its way to McKenna. Oh, slices the ball away though. The build-up was promising there from Melbourne City. It just needed the finishing touch at the end of it. And here, that little jinking step from 18 Keane, able to outfox the defence. And then McKenna, so often a good exponent of the long shot, just sliced that one at the key moment. As that signs that Melbourne City are starting to get their passing game going. Not Keane and Medwin. I'm sure those two remember the duel they had last time they played. No love lost. Here's Medwin pushing in the other direction. Sends the ball down towards the corner. It's not going to find its way out. It needs to be defended here by Otto. She's got Ashlyn Miller on her case. Mirez, Jackson at risk of coughing up possession here. Medwin with a block tackle. And Jackson does just enough to get the ball onto Turner. McNamara working deep into the defensive half and shows Woods a clean pair of heels. Great play by McNamara. And now feeds the ball through to Briley Henry. Henry is denied. McNamara with the follow-up over the bar. Roar thought it was offside. Melbourne City kept attacking. Chloe Lincoln makes an excellent save to foil Briley Henry. And then McNamara really should have buried the follow-up. So Roar were a little distracted. They thought that was offside. Lincoln makes a good save. And then the Mac just struck that a little too forcefully, and it kept rising over the crossbar. Melbourne City with 2 really good opportunities to grab a goal back. Now, what's the... I think Melbourne City is saying that Isabella Mawson should book Chloe Lincoln here for time wasting, but I think it's just a stern word and a warning from Mawson to Lincoln to get play back started. Chloe Lincoln would love her second clean sheet of the season now. This into the back of McKenna and getting a little chippy. Holly McNamara wants her 2 cents. And Isabella Mawson is going to have to try and cool things down here. Brisbane Roar not happy with a bit of the badgering going on. Momo Hayashi's got the captain's armband, so she can have her say. Is Holly McNamara going to talk her way into the book? Here's another look at the foul from Myers. Letitia McKenna in the aftermath. So with this sort of wind at the backs of Melbourne City, it's definitely shooting range. McKenna is still down receiving treatment. I think more to do with where the ball hits McKenna more than the foul from Myers, though. Doctor and physio are both on the scene. There's the bench. Chinaza Uchendu in the foreground. Janela Buttress getting up for a walk, and Kai Jugovic, the other player. There's Carly Rostbacken, also in a substitutes bib today. So McKenna, how serious a problem are we looking at here? I think maybe a bit of blood from the mouth is the problem. Gives Roar plenty of time to think about how they will set up their defence. There we go. The nose is getting plugged as well. You heard the shout from the Brisbane bench. Chloe set it up. All right, back to earlier in the game. This was Momo Hayashi heading into the airspace of Milena Mires, and then Amy Medwin out to Kaya Stevenson. That's the opening goal of the game. On the left foot of Stevenson, and then this pass here. Stevenson goes to ground initially. Momo Hayashi follows in. Stevenson bounces back to her feet and lashes in a right-footed shot. And that gives us the 2-0 scoreline that Melbourne City are currently trying to eat into. So McKenna's off for this set piece, and Alexia Apostolakis is over the dead ball. Apostolakis volleyed away by Stevenson. McKenna still on the other side of the touchline. Now she's back on, so 11 versus 11 restored. Medwin against Keane. Hayashi there to help out. Ashlyn Miller. McKenna back on the ball. Back in the action. Henry. McNamara, return ball for Henry. And Henry, good energetic defending from Seidel. Henry thinks she was fouled. The end result, though, is a goal kick. Henry, McNamara. Well, the cross is only going to advantage Medwin here, and coming in late, affecting the clearance there was McMahon. So Melbourne City have to throw in. Shelby McMahon. Around the corner for McKenna. Keane. And the ball goes out for a corner kick. Keane running at Josie Studer on that occasion. When it was time to put the cross in, who else but Momo Hayashi was standing in the way. 10 minutes of regulation to go in the first half. City with the wind at their backs, and a corner kick opportunity here. Tisha McKenna still with Gores plugging the nose. Corner to the back post, and McNamara is foiled by Lincoln, and up and under and in. Rebecca Stott gets a goal back, and Melbourne City have halved the deficit. And Brisbane Roar's inability to keep clean sheets means that Melbourne City will be believing. Rebecca Stott with her second of the campaign. They've both come into this exact net at the left of screen and control cyber pitch. Despite the best efforts of Amy Medwin on the goal line, that one had the momentum to take it in. It was a good save initially from Chloe Lincoln, but City kept the ball in the 6-yard box. Brisbane couldn't clear their lines, and through came the captain, Rebecca Stott, to score. The 9th goal of her 158 Ninja A-League career. And in her 20th head-to-head meeting against the Brisbane Roar, she scores her 3rd goal against them, first time since a double back in January of 2017. So 9 years since Rebecca Stott last scored against the Brisbane Roar. She's on the score sheet here, and we have a game. It's 2-1. And we're about to get some running repairs on the goal net. I think there's just a spare ball that fell off the plinth. The only concern it was. So back underway, and Melbourne City, can they pile forward and even potentially find an equaliser before half-time? The momentum is with them. Here's Holly McNamara. Tried to push it through for Jackson, but the Roar defence closed ranks. Clearing out onto the concourse. See the fans bringing the fence and control cyber pitch. Been treated to a fun spectacle so far, and the promise of plenty more goals to come. The ball right under the foot of McKenna. Apostolakis gets it back. McKenna with a bit more surety this time. McNamara onto Henry. Briley Henry.
Good suppression, Adrian! Second run!
And now at the edge of the box, McKenna. McMahon. Interception made by Hayashi. Jackson. Referee lets them play. Shelby McMahon. Stand-up challenge from Woods, wins the ball back. Medwin. And now Keane. Over to Apostolakis. Now Taylor Otto to 18 Keane. Well, underhit pass there. In comes Miller. Hayashi. Medwin. Long ball, hopeful ball. Daisy Brown has been isolated at times in this game. She's not going to get involved here on the end of that header. I can tell you that in the other game going concurrently, Madison Asen has equalised for Sydney FC. They are now 1-1 against Canberra United. So redraw your ladders. Brisbane are still top of the live table, but Canberra now drop back down to 4th. Melbourne City back into 3rd. Such is the changing nature. Every goal can have a say on the ladder at this point of the season. Jackson through the right channel. Seidel is going to watch it and usher it out. Her and Briley Henry have had a pretty good duel down that wing in this first half. Hayashi. Medwin. Blocked clearance. McMahon. Jackson. And now Briley Henry on for Holly McNamara. McNamara around the keeper and in. 2-2. Melbourne City have cancelled out the deficit before half-time. Holly McNamara's 12th goal of the Ninja A-League season. What a good touch to get it around Chloe Lincoln and then swiveled on the finish. Nothing Ava Piazza could do on the goal line. And Melbourne City, after coughing up a 2-goal lead, have found parity. And they've done it with still precious minutes to go with the wind at their backs in this first half. What a game we're witnessing this afternoon. Michael Matriciani having a word with Shab Roshan, the fourth official. Brisbane Roar having a powwow in the aftermath of conceding that goal. Well, two of the goal scorers today having a laugh. Kylie Stevenson still with a smile on her face. She knows that the job is far from done. And her 2 goals are not going to be enough to win this game for the Brisbane Roar. They've got to produce more if they want the 3 points today. Melbourne City, could they even take the lead before half-time here? I'll tell you who's happiest about all of this. Wellington Phoenix. Welcome back to the top of the league, Wellington. Canberra drawing with Sydney, and now this one squared away. So it's yellow and black who are doing the smiling, at least for now, with a lot of this game to go. Medwin. Miller. Hayashi. Daisy Brown. Pass out to Miller. Miller can't keep it moving. Medwin was committed forward. Miller just couldn't set her clear with an underhit pass. Woods. Here comes McMahon. Now it's Melbourne City's turn to walk tall. We saw how confident Brisbane were as they raced out to the lead early in the game. Now it's Melbourne City who've got a bit of belief. And Alex Smith, I don't think his emotions have changed at all from 2-0 to 2-2. It's still the stress of coaching in the Ninja A-League. Stevenson. He's got to go back to work here. Goes to ground. Referee sees nothing untoward. Play continues. Elena Mires will be feeling a sense of relief, no doubt. But City have got themselves back level. And there could be more on the way. Here's Jackson streaming forward. McNamara, Keane making a diagonal run. McNamara, not able to skip past Piazza. The City bench are arguing that Piazza was hatching the ball there and had stopped it illegally, but the referee didn't agree. Now Piazza with a more conventional pass to Mariana Seidel.
Yeah, higher, Dev! That's you, Dev! Yes, Dev! Block inside, jump!
Studer's pass into a contest. Miller knocked off the ball. McNamara caught. No whistle. Play continues.
Sorry, she's saying stop.
Just trying to eavesdrop on Michael Matriciani here, blowing up at the fourth official, but City's focus immediately turns back to the possession at hand. Apostolakis.
Great run, Briley! Great run!
McNamara. Otto getting forward to join the attack here. Taylor Otto, the centre-back, moonlighting as a winger. And that is last touch of Tish Woods. McNamara. That was the incident that had the Melbourne City sideline blowing up. But no whistle. Play continued. So we've seen a couple of corners from the left-hand side. We haven't seen one from the right-hand side. And instead of Danielle Turner, who has often been the left-footed corner taker, it's going to be Letitia McKenna as we tick into 5 additional minutes. And it's punched away across the face from Lincoln. Corner on the opposite side. Melbourne City want that lead before the break. Great corner from McKenna, in swinging, and a strong outstretched right fist from Chloe Lincoln. got it through the penalty area. A hush falls over control cyber pitch. McKenna taking the corners from both sides here. Right into the teeth of goal. Lincoln bats it away and volleyed on by Henry. Cleared. A sea of bodies in the road. Henry put it back into the mixer. And out it goes. Melbourne City ball once again. It's Melissa Barbieri, you can hear there, praising the corner taking of Letitia McKenna. Will it be third time lucky for Melbourne City? 3 consecutive corners. Referee's going to make McKenna wait here, though. Chloe Lincoln's been asking for protection on each one of these corners. The referee gave everyone a last word. Here's McKenna, roosts it high to the far post and off the line and somehow out for a goal kick. City can't believe it. And a series of ricochets sees it out. It was McNamara and Otto. I think McNamara got the last touch there. She was claiming corner. But ultimately, out it goes. Have Brisbane done enough? They've still got to somehow negotiate 3 more minutes of stoppage to get to half-time. Chloe Lincoln's going to take every second afforded to her here, steering a bit of traffic before she sends this ball. Headed from Myers, but it will be a Melbourne City throw-in. Apostolakis with the throw-in. McNamara pops up and under return. Apostolakis trying to avoid losing the ball. McMahon. Otto. Now Turner. Medwin. Blocked by Turner. Studer. And it deflects kindly. Piazza. Now Seidel. All the way back to Lincoln. Lincoln hits it high. Apostolakis with the header. McNamara lays it off for McKenna. McKenna sees a set defence behind the ball. Keane. Against Medwin. Keane away from the penalty area. Turner. Back to Otto. Brown gets involved, defending from the front. McNamara, Otto on the left wing this time. Centre-back going wherever she's needed, but the offside flag is up. And that's why you don't see centre-backs roaming down the wings too often. And now the Roar have 1 minute to make it to the break. Melbourne City having come back from 2-0 down within the first half, putting all the heat on, trying to take the lead before half-time, and crucially before the change of ends. Lincoln gets plenty of distance on the restart. Medwin. Here's Stott. Drives a long ball. Asks the runners to go and chase. Seidel leads the race against Henry, takes possession, puts the ball out. City have only got seconds left to play with here, they can't dawdle. Stoppage time's about to expire here. Apostolakis can't wait too long. The ball is in. Apostolakis with a side step. And will Melbourne City have time to take the corner? Looks like they will. So the 5 minutes is up, but one more set piece. And these corners have looked so dangerous. Letitia McKenna's been on duty for all of them. Can she produce one more perfect corner to cap off what's been a great first half? a high-in swinger, and, well, an anti-climax. That lands on the roof of the net. So we didn't get everything we wanted out of the first half. Maybe one more twist in the tail was too much to ask, but the good news is we've got an entire second half to look forward to. And these two teams just feel a rivalry brewing between the two of them. It's been a pretty intense game so far. As we tick up to 6 completed minutes of additional time. At the end of the first half, the whistle goes. So Holly McNamara has the equaliser. And that was after Kaya Stevenson scored a quick-fire double. 2 occasions of capitalising on Melbourne City's errors playing out from the back. And Rebecca Stott, crucially, was able to halve the deficit with a header that gave Melbourne City the belief that the comeback was possible. And now the teams go to the rooms and have plenty to contemplate. It's been a great game so far, and the good news is there's 45 minutes to come. Melbourne City 2, Brisbane Roar 2. So if you joined us at any point during the first half, let's take a look at some of the highlights. This was Kaya Stevenson with the first really golden opportunity of the game, able to catch Melbourne City in possession, and she fired wide, but that was merely foreshadowing what was about to come. This ball was fumbled here. Stevenson lobbing it over Milena Mires, trapped in no man's land, and that was Brisbane Roar into a 1-0 lead. Stevenson's first goal since her return from an ACL injury that cost her an entire season. But Brisbane would double their money. Momo Hayashi capitalising, Stevenson lashing in a right-footed shot, and all of a sudden it was 2-0 to the visiting Brisbane Roar team. And Melbourne City watching on concerned, but they had the wind at their backs, and a strong wind at that through the first half. Devon Jackson not quite able to catch out Chloe Lincoln on that occasion, but Holly McNamara decided to start taking the game on, and this really should have been 2-1. Briley Henry foiled by Chloe Lincoln, and then the follow-up from McNamara shooting over the bar. This corner from Letitia McKenna, hard to deal with. Great initial save by Lincoln, and then it deflected high to Rebecca Stott. And despite the best efforts of Amy Medwin on the goal line, they couldn't stop Stott from scoring her second goal of the campaign. And then Holly McNamara, look at the footwork there, and the balance as well to dance around the oncoming keeper and then twist the finish into the back of the net. 2-2, the half-time score. Let's take a look at the underlying numbers. Melbourne City dominant in possession, as is often the case. 6 shots on target to 3, and they've been territorially dominant. You see the final third entries there, but will that swing around when the Brisbane Roar have the wind at their backs in the second half? We're off to a short break here, but don't go far. We've got plenty more during the halftime show. Welcome back to the Ninja A-League. We're at halftime of this match between Melbourne City and Brisbane Roar. It's 2-2. If you're going for the multi-screen experience, you would already know that it is Sydney FC 1, Canberra United 1 at halftime of that match at Control Cyber Pitch. Wellington Phoenix and Melbourne Victory already winners this weekend, and the teams are in for kickoff in an hour's time between the Western Sydney Wanderers and Adelaide United. You can watch that match right where you're watching right now, Paramount Plus, and streaming free on 10 if you are in Australia. Melbourne City fans hoping for an entertaining second half filled with goals. And speaking of goal scorers, well, the Central Coast Mariners, they're on their bye, but when they come back, they'll be without Annalise Rasmussen. The 20-year-old has signed a deal with Italian giants Juventus. Let's hear her reflecting on her career so far.
After a long 14-year wait, the Central Coast Mariners make their return to the competition.
I remember my debut, I was 18 years old. It was here at Ploytech Stadium against the Newcastle Jets.
She was their first signing when they re-entered the competition.
I remember I started that game, so I was very nervous, but I think I was just happy to be out there and playing.
Rasmussen just couldn't keep it in play.
My favourite A-League moment was definitely that grand final win, I think. Obviously having a roller coaster of a season and then coming out on top was really special.
And the Central Coast Mariners are the Ninja A-League champions!
I think just before final start, maybe a month or two out, we went a month without winning any games.
Meanwhile, Central Coast Mariners have some deep digging and thinking to do as they go home with just 1 point. They need more.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of review, and I think a big thing of that is self-reflection, so going away by yourself, looking at what you did wrong, and then being able to come back in training and as a team reviewing. We did a lot of meetings but without our coaches, so I think it created a lot of, I guess you'd say, like team bonding and not being afraid to speak of what we think. The club had a psychologist that the girls could go and see, so again, like doing your personal reflection and trying to be the best that you can be. And I think that was really a turning point for our team. I think from there we just kind of went up and then all the way to the top.
Challenge for the Mariners. Bianca Gallich is good with the penalty.
I feel like I'm an exciting player. I feel like I have a good eye for goal and I just always try my best.
Martin, the cutback, the shot, and it's 3! Annalise Rasmussen on the spot once again!
I think obviously it is a lot instinctual, but I think looking steps ahead, like before I get the ball, am I going to get it and shoot? I think having those things in my mind is something I have playing through.
Rasmussen in the perfect position.
Creating spaces and knowing what I want to do with the ball before I get it.
The delivery, Rasmussen! Annalise Rasmussen goes clear on top of the Golden Boot race.
So all the best to Annalise Rasmussen as she pursues her career now in Italy with Juventus, and what a great success story graduating from the Mariners Academy. So this game is 2-2 at half-time, and let's recap the goals, because it was Brisbane who flew out into a 2-0 lead on the back of Kaya Stevenson, and this was the opening goal. Amy Medwin recycling the play, gets the assist, and in the 8th minute, that was 1-0 Brisbane. They only had to wait 5 minutes for the second goal. This pass here rolling onto the boot of Momo Hayashi, and then Stevenson bounced back up after a slip to make it 2, her first 2 goals of the season, and also her 5th and 6th goals of her career. Now, that initial good save by Chloe Lincoln wasn't enough to keep Melbourne City out. Rebecca Stott with her 2nd goal of the season and her first goal against the Brisbane Roar in 9 years to make it 2-1. And then Melbourne City would get the equaliser with Briley Henry played through Holly McNamara. Excellent finish, and nothing that Ava Piazza could do about it. On the goal line, 2-2, the half-time score. Now, fans of Brisbane will have happy memories of the last time they won a trophy, and commentating that match was the late Rafe Griffin. Sadly, we lost him this week. He was a commentator for the W League and the FFA Cup in the Fox Sports era, and the voice of Brisbane's trophy. You see him there with Mel Andretta when they beat Canberra United 4-1 in the 2017-18 final home and away round to win that trophy. He was a great colleague, a great commentator, liked and respected, and a gentleman, and particularly well known in Queensland, and he was also the general manager of Football Brisbane Rest in peace, mate. A real shame to lose Rafe Griffin. So, fans eagerly anticipating the second half of this match, and everyone is anticipating the countdown to the AFC Women's Asian Cup, which kicks off on the 1st of March.
This isn't just a seat in the stands. It's your ticket to fearless ambition, to roar with crowds, for young fans to see heroes up close, to watch world-class skill, grit and grace. This isn't just a tournament. It's a celebration of what's possible when the world watches women rise. Get your ticket to dream. AFC Women's Asian Cup Australia 2026.
Live pictures from Control Cyber Pitch. It's amicable, the chat between referee and players for now. And it looks like one of the reasons for that is the net at the left of screen is just being repaired before we kick off this second half. Brisbane Roar are still in their huddle. As you can see there, they're just breaking out of it now, perhaps breaking out to realise that kickoff is just going to be held up. I see the match commissioner, Phil Diamataris, walking out to the central ref here for a quick powwow as well. So, Melbourne City, there's the match commissioner. Can't kick off without a ball. I think that's maybe one of the other problems too. So maybe this is the problem. They want a bit of sand here for a little hole in the pitch. So will that satisfy? certainly does not remain a concern for any of the players in the game from this point forward. Looks as though the referee's satisfied, and Melbourne City will take kick-off, attacking the right of your screens in this second half. Looks like the same 11s that started the match are going to kick off the second half as well. No substitutions as yet. A 2-all scoreline. And the reward, if we get a winner today, will be top spot in the Ninja A-League. Back underway at control cyber pitch, and Holly McNamara, as she did after conceding the first goal of the game, just shoots from kick-off. That did not catch a deflection. Melbourne City are just advancing players up for a potential press here. It's going to be fascinating to see how the tactical battle unfolds. Big halftime team talks for both teams. One goal kick from Chloe Lincoln of the Brisbane Roar. Here's the 2-goal scorer from the first half. Kaya Stevenson knocked off the ball. Holly McNamara hoping for Briley Henry. McNamara following in, and Mariana Seidel committed to the ball. And as she runs out of space, well, the Brisbane bench wanted a foul. So we take another look for that challenge there from Briley Henry, but the end result is a Melbourne City throw. McNamara running wide here, allowing Piazza to clear. You still see those flags behind the fence there, reflecting that the wind is rattling towards the left of screen, as it was in the first half. So Melbourne City attacking into that wind here. And that deflects out off Seidel. Apostolakis takes the throw in. Shelby McMahon back to Alexia Apostolakis. McKenna is going to shoot, hooks it into the path of McNamara, and then away Seidel clears. Brown is a lone hand up top for the Roar, but now support arrives in the form of Ashlyn Miller. Rebecca Stott, well balanced, to veer away and puts the ball under the head of Josie Studer. Momo Hayashi. Feet now of Taylor Otto. We had 6 additional minutes at the end of the first half, so this game is now about 2 minutes behind Sydney FC against Canberra United, a game that kicked off concurrently. The scoreline there is still 1-1. Means that the Wellington Phoenix are still top of the Ninja A-League as things stand. Daniel Turner, long ball, McNamara running at Piazza, has got support from Henry. McNamara now finds Henry. Henry steadies, cuts onto her left and scores! Melbourne City have come back from 2-0 down to lead. And Briley Henry's first goal of the Ninja A-League season could be all important. Congratulations come for Henry. Holly McNamara knew she was on, bided her time against Piazza, and then slid the pass over Henry. Had the composure, even as defenders tracked back, to steady, step onto her left, and the finish in off the foot of Chloe Lincoln. Had enough power behind it. And the blushes of the first 15 minutes are now forgotten for Melbourne City. They have turned it around to lead. It is over to Brisbane to try to find a response. Briley Henry, the Brisbane Roar, were already her favourite opponent to score goals against in the league. They are now that outright her 8th head-to-head appearance against them, her 4th goal. They now become the most prolific opponent she has scored against in this competition, and also importantly, it's her first goal since May of last year. Raw made a sub in the aftermath of the goal, or they're about to make a sub in the aftermath of the goal. I think they're walking Bente Janssen up to the 4th official. keep an eye out for that. For now, though, the same 11 that started the game are out on the pitch. So now with their noses in front, how did Melbourne City change their style of play? Milena Mires, no more hurried clearances, a lot more confident back in possession again. Myers. Stott tried to dispossess her. Myers thought there might have been a foul for the challenge from behind, but ultimately ran out of play. And here comes Benty Janssen. So it's Kira Myers' last involvement. Not quite the homecoming she was hoping for against her former team back in her hometown of Melbourne, but Myers makes way after 50.5 minutes. And Janssen, who was put in cotton wool on Wednesday night, has been kept in reserve for 40 minutes plus stoppage today. Let's see what impact the 26-year-old Dutch woman can have. 7 goals in 13 appearances so far this season. And the Roar need her now. They trail. So Myers was playing on the wing. Looks as though Janssen's arrival is going to push Kaya Stevenson a little bit wider. And Janssen will take up a familiar position of central attacking midfield. Here's Keane. McNamara not quite away. Seidel made an all-important tackle. McKenna, 18 Keane. Up against Amy Medwin. Keane, burst of acceleration, fashions across, and held on to by Chloe Lincoln up against the near post. Long clearance, and Daisy Brown, not quite the better factor of two City players leaping against each other. Milena Mires, good keeper sweeper work to come out of her line. Hayashi, able to win the wrestle. Stevenson, return ball was neat. Hayashi out to the right. Here goes Janssen. First meaningful involvement in the game for the sub. Janssen with a little step over. Looks up at Turner. Squares it back. Hayashi! And it caught a deflection. Out for a corner kick. And Momo says, thank you. Nice cut back. Hard to tell on that replay exactly who it deflected off, but deflected did. And so a corner kick. Alicia Woods to take Roar's first corner of the second half. And that lands on the roof of the net. So it's one thing to have the wind at your backs, it's another to use it. And just like Letitia McKenna's last corner of the first half, Roar's first corner of the second comes to naught.
Super work, Riley.
Mires. Under the head of McNamara. Flicking it on to Briley Henry, the most recent scorer. Probing crossfield ball. 18 Keane brings it under control. Keane. And the shot is blocked away. Piazza well positioned. City able to seamlessly move end to end there though. Mires. Into the head of Piazza. McKenna. Now Keane. Early ball this time. Hangs it up high and a comfortable catch for Lincoln. Miller's pass. City have taken over possession. Clearance hit the roof briefly. Fans having fun as they retrieve the ball. Can the Roar get a pep back in their step? Feels like Melbourne City are just stifling the game a little bit at the moment. They've expended a lot of energy coming from behind to take this lead. As we know, they are such a great team in possession that they really can pass time effortlessly, knocking the ball around. So it's up to the Roar to disrupt them. Jansen trying to give Mirez the hurry up. And, well, the ball bounces out, so the Roar do have possession back. Roar pondering, perhaps, what minute do they introduce Angie Beard? Back at the Roar today. Turner down the line. Keane starting to become really prominently involved in the game down the left flank. 18 Keane bides her time with some stutter steps. McKenna back to Keane, hoping for McNamara with a low drive, and the combination of Piazza and Woods put it behind for a corner kick. So Melbourne City have themselves a corner. Having been 2 goals down, can they now go 2 goals up? McKenna in at the near post, sliding across the face. McNamara goes to ground and bounces back up. Brown and Stevenson combine to win the ball away. Turner. And that's catching practice for Chloe Lincoln. Drop kick out from the Roar keeper. McKenna protecting the ball. McMahon, now Jackson. Devin Jackson out to the right for Apostolakis. Taylor Otto. McKenna's pass cut central, intercepted by Stevenson. Hayashi, Salt Medwin into trouble. Henry won the ball back. Now Jackson. Around Wood she goes. Jackson, and then pushes the ball just a little too forcefully. Did it catch a deflection? It did. So a corner kick coming up for the home side.
Great work! Good call, Brady!
Barbieri offering encouragement from the sideline. So City were territorially dominant. We saw that halftime stat of 34, final third entries to 14, and not much has changed through almost 15 minutes of the second half here. They've got a goal, and they are on top in open play. Here's McKenna's corner. Up and under header is out for consecutive corners. Or is it? No. Referee sent an infringement. So instead of another corner, it'll be Brisbane ball. Apostolakis off for a dash. Miller in pursuit. McNamara. Turner. Pass has enough on it to find its way out, but it does feel like the game is drifting on Melbourne City's terms at the moment. See possession still 60-40, firmly Melbourne City's way. Headed by Brown, straight to Apostolakis, back to Mirez. York's Ashlyn Miller. Just hasn't been at a busy best today, Miller. Playing a wider role than we've seen in recent times. She's been more of a central midfielder. Is she going to have a say in the last half an hour? Of course, she scored the equaliser up at Spencer Park right at the end of the night when these teams met back on the 20th of January. So we know she can run out a game. Here's Hayashi. And Momo is just going to unleash from distance. Maybe that's a sign that Roar are starting to get a little impatient. Momo just decided to give it a go.
Stay, Dev, stay, Dev.
And we've passed the hour mark. Continuing the game at Leichhardt Oval, Kirsty Fenton has been sent off, so that scoreline remains 1-1, but it's now Canberra with 11 players versus Sydney's 10. And that game is in the 63rd minute compared to us in the 62nd minute here. Here's 18 Keane, drops the shoulder and fashions a shot, but no power behind it. Straight at the goalkeeper. Keane has been really prominent for the first 16 minutes of this second half, though. Hayashi, Stevenson. Mariana Seidel. Hayashi. McMahon and McNamara trying to outmaneuver Seidel. McNamara stays wide. And now engages Seidel, and ultimately well defended by the Brisbane Roar player. Just waiting and waiting there for the trademark McNamara burst of speed. It never came. Here's a look at the Keane shot from a moment ago. Otto. Shelby McMahon. Loses out to Alicia Woods. Janssen. Taylor Otto right on it. And then nice little sidestep from Otto and a pass to match. Keane. Breaking central. 18 Keane. Diagonal ball. Briley Henry meets it in stride. Cutting back onto her left. And, well, it was a shot that rolled across the laces there. Nearly worked out as a pass. The Roar defence able to get it away. Apostolakis. Bit of a midfield gap here for Apostolakis to exploit. Keane to Jackson. And a good challenge from Piazza to stop Devon Jackson's advances. Ashlyn Miller. Riley Henry marking her. Miller. Finds Medwin, despite the best efforts of Keane. Now Janssen from the right side of the box. And just a bit too close to the keeper. Daisy Brown in the middle, but Lena Mires, yeah, she can afford a smile. Good hands there to pluck that cross before it got anywhere near a Roar attacker. I think we can see Janssen trying to warm into the game. Hasn't really exploded off the bench with immediate impact, but there is still plenty of this game to go. Pass from Stevenson, though, gifts possession back to Melbourne City. Speculated plenty about what's on Brisbane's bench, but Melbourne City, what minute do they bring Danella Buttress back to the Ninja A-League? She's been out for a number of games, a 3-week period. Chinasa Uchendu waiting in reserve. Carly Rossback, and who was so good when these teams met at Spencer Park, playing in a central midfield role. Studer. Headed into a contest, and Keane provided exactly that. And now the whistle goes, a delay on the whistle. Janssen's free kick for the way that the challenge came in from 18 Keane, and both players are sore. Keane might have given up the foul, but she's caused herself just as many problems. Ooh, and that's because Janssen in trying to leap out of the way. Landed on the outstretched right foot of 18 Keane on the way down. Keane might be sitting on the ground, but is still having her 2 cents to the referee. Let's have a look at the slide tackle in slow motion. Look at the foul here. Of course, it is going to be Roar's free kick to get play back underway. Hopefully both players are doing fine. They're able to continue. Ruby Cuthbert, who's been sent to go and warm up, she still hasn't seen the field this season. The young defender. She's been in the matchday squad for a number of weeks now, but still hasn't been called up to play. As we see the free kick come to naught. It was already drifting wide and comfortably caught by Milena Mires. Miller. Piazza. Studer. Keane in with energy once again. Studer's pass intercepted by Turner, but immediately stuck in a battle against Janssen, and across comes Medwin to put the ball out. Janssen. Woods goes to ground, but play continues. Hayashi's pass had already released Seidel. Over to Miller. Mariana Seidel. Brown lets it run on. Apostolakis foils Stevenson. Studer over to Piazza. Now Seidel takes on McNamara. McNamara made it difficult, and ultimately Rebecca Stott wins the ball off Kaya Stevenson. Over to the left flank, Keane takes on Studer here. Studer, you see the grabbing and grappling. Keane continues. 18 Keane, foiled by Lincoln, but the follow-up from Jackson makes it 4-2 to Melbourne City. And it's a first goal in City Blue for the football firm Devin Jackson. And after being 2 goals down, Melbourne City have themselves a 2-goal buffer. 18 Keane shrugged Studer, sidestepped Piazza, was denied by Lincoln, but first into the rebound was Devin Jackson, and the speed of 18 Keane, too tough to deal with. She's been exceptional in this second half. Doesn't really get the reward of a goal or an assist, but Devin Jackson was able to capitalise on the hard work. And Jackson, in Ninja A-League game number 50, marks the occasion with her 9th goal. Angie Beard, the former Matilda, now full Philippines international, gets a tactical briefing. She's not far away. But 4 goals from 4 different scorers, and Brisbane Roar's 2-goal buffer is starting to feel like a bit of a distant memory with 20 minutes to go. Janssen over to Medwin. The ball breaks central. McKenna caught in possession by Hayashi. Momo sends the ball over to Ashlyn Miller. Miller with a step over, lifts across, straight onto the head of Turner though. Jackson battling, and Keane wins the free kick. The fans making all the noise in that left corner of the pitch. Enjoyed seeing all that unfold right in front of them. So, welcome back to the Ninja A-League, Angie Beard. Between 2014 and 17, she played 29 times for the Roar, the last of which was in January 2017, back at her hometown club, and ready to resume her career. Most recently in Sweden at AIK, and the 25 cap Philippines international in preparation to take on the Matildas in that opening game of the AFC Women's Asian Cup. Returns to the Ninja A-League for the first time since the 2023 qualifying final, of course, when she was at Western United. So great to have Angie Beard back. She won 3 caps for the Matildas before making that change to the Philippines. She was eligible to do so because they were all in friendlies. See a free kick here for Tish Woods. Of course, Angie Beard brings with her a bit of set-piece prowess as well, so she's not going to take this free kick, but it's going to go and line up in the pack of players instead. Coming on for Amy Medwin, who took her leave for that sub. No time wasted here by the Roar. Mariana Seidel hits it high and well defended. Might have been offside as well. It looked as though a couple of Roar players had strayed there. Nicoletta Soteropoulos raising the flag. So here's the set piece, and well, it was Angie Beard and also Ava Piazza. I think even Momo might have been offside. Wouldn't be shocked if 3 players were trapped offside there at that free kick.
Get a breather! Male, take your time. Male, calm now.
Separate!
Michael Matriciani's also got his poker face on. Still 18 minutes of regulation to go. Can the Roar at least plant a seed of doubt? Can they get it back to 4-3? Just when you think you know what this league is going to serve up, you get hit with a swerve. So Melbourne City might have seemingly turned this around, but maybe the Brisbane Roar can kick again. As things stand, with Canberra and Sydney still locked at 1-1, they are 4th on the live table. McNamara, a sliced cross, easily held by Lincoln. Mariana Seidel, pretty distressed in the immediate short term, but hopefully that is indicative of a cramp. Yep, the physio is stretching her out, so it's not something more serious than that, just a very painful cramp, and out comes the pickle juice. But yes, even though Sydney FC have been down to 10 players for 13 minutes now, as we see more Roar subs go and warm up, it is still 1-1 at Leichhardt Oval. So as things stand, Melbourne City 26, Wellington 24 with the game in hand, Canberra 22 and Brisbane Roar 22. It's worth remembering, of course, Melbourne City have already banked home and away wins over the Wellington Phoenix, so they have accounted for 6 of those 26 points. And yet in the run home, the Phoenix might still be able to chase them down. It's going to be a great run to the finish line. Of course, we take a 3-week break for the Women's Asian Cup group stage. And then also the quarterfinals and semis. But by the time the Ninja A-League returns to the pitch, it'll be a sprint for some, as few as 3 games for Melbourne Victory, and then still 5 games to go for teams like Wellington and also the Central Coast Mariners. So back underway. And Chloe Lincoln driving the ball to Daisy Brown. And this is the centre forward play that she's really been excellent with so far, but we haven't seen a huge amount of it today, but she protected the ball well there. Ashlyn Miller, as Mariana Seidel is literally back up and running. Good news for her. We're down to 10 players, but they are venturing forward here through Benti Janssen into the near post and held on to by Milena Mears. Angie Beard is going to watch that roll out.
She's in front of you.
See the flag behind the goal there. There is no home ground advantage, quite like the wind roaring behind you at your back in the first half and then stopping to nothing in the second half. Control cyber pitch doing its part for Melbourne City as the home team today. Here's Ava Piazza. Studer. Able to take 30 metres here, Josie Studer, but she showed too much of the ball to Taylor Otto. Got excited, sprinting up the pitch, the defender, and then ultimately gave possession away. Apostolakis, Otto, to the urging of McMahon to look further afield to 18 Keane. Keane biting her run here. You see Miller backtracking. Studer was laying in wait and made a good tackle. City will still get the throw. And we're going to see another substitution. It's going to be a triple change, and it's an exciting moment for Kyla Hansen, who is going to make her Ninja A-League debut. She's been an unused sub a couple of times this season as well. Alex Smith is finally going to unleash her. Get back to that in a moment, though, because City are looking for a fifth, and it's another shot on target. 10th of the game, and held on to by Chloe Lincoln here. Lincoln goes for distance. Apostolakis, pop-up header. Janssen down to Stevenson. Stevenson rolls on the ball and then plays it to Brown. Daisy Brown with a shot. Just over the bar. That's Brisbane's best move of the second half. Brown thinks it's a corner. And it looks as though the assistant referees come to the party. Brisbane have a corner kick. Spin from Kaya Stevenson, and then Brown was arguing that Apostolakis with that late lunge was enough to take it over the bar. And so they have a corner kick. Can they set up a big final 10 minutes here?
We've got 3 subs for Brisbane Roar.
We're going to have the triple sub before or after the corner. That's the question. So it's Amali Kinsella for the first time this season, Ruby Cuthbert, and for the first time in the Ninja A-League, Kyla Hansen. So Ruby Cuthbert, the West Australian who hasn't played since April of last year, 18 years of age, and on for her first appearance of the campaign and 9th career. She comes on for Alicia Woods. We've got Josie Studer coming to the sideline, and that'll be for Amali Kinsella for just her 6th career appearance. She's only played 14 minutes in all those sub-appearances so far this season, and congratulations to Kyla Hansen, the 20-year-old from Eastern Suburbs who scored 26 goals in 27 games in NPL Queensland last season. She's a Capalaba junior, and congratulations on her Ninja A-League debut. The 20-year-old comes on. Can she have an instant impact here in the number 47 shirt, Kyla Hansen? So, triple sub for the Roar, and Angie Beard set to take this corner kick. Will the new energy off the bench make a difference here? Angie Beard to the near post and headed away by Turner. McKenna only as far as Janssen, lobs it up, shouts for offside, and they're a moot point because Piazza wasn't able to make solid contact with the ball. And it sounds like Melbourne City are getting subs of their own ready here. We're going to see Danella Buttress's return to the league today. She's been such a live wire. We're going to have to wait because Carly Rossbacken is the next player to come on. And you see there, the number 6 of Letitia McKenna is up. So Rossbacken, who played such an outstanding game head-to-head against Bente Janssen when the teams met up at Spencer Park, comes on here into central midfield. Look at how heavily bandaged that left knee is too. So Rossbacken definitely managing a concern, but she's on for the last 10 minutes, relieving Letitia McKenna here. McNamara gets the better of Piazza. Angie Beard chasing, and Angie Beard with a foul. And a yellow card out of the pocket from Isabella Mawson. So it's welcome back to the Ninja A-League for the yellow card to Angie Beard. Of course, when she was at Western United, she was part of that amazing run they had under Mark Torcaso, where they never lost to Melbourne City. McNamara was obviously part of the Melbourne City equation in that rivalry. So a 5th would make it safe for Melbourne City from here. 2-goal buffer already sitting pretty. Rossbacken takes the free kick off the head of both Stott and Otto, the centre-backs. Not quite able to link up. McMahon. Stott back to Shelby McMahon. And now 18 Keane, shot on the turn, blocked immediately. Second chance, and it is 5. And it is fitting reward for 18 Keane, who has been sensational in this second half. And she's looking for some fans to celebrate with. Well, she finds one, and he's caged behind the fence. 18 Keane gets her goal, and Melbourne City are looking good to consolidate top spot in the Ninja A-League. They lead 5-2. Good hustle from Shelby McMahon. Keane, the initial instinct was to turn and shoot. And when a second chance appeared, that is well placed. No chance for Chloe Lincoln. And 18 Keane able to net for the 3rd time this season. First time in her career against the Brisbane Roar. And a couple of fans, they're able to at least get to the fence to share the moment with City's 5th different goal scorer this afternoon. You can see the scoreboard there. 5 different goal scorers as Melbourne City have flexed their muscle coming back from 2-0 down. And of course, City fans will remember they did exactly the same thing at this venue to Perth Glory last season. They were 2-0 down to the Glory, only to rattle off 5 goals in response. So you can't even call it unprecedented. There literally is precedent. Meantime, Sydney and Canberra remained locked at 1-1 in the 85th minute. So Canberra might be on track to drop 2 precious points here. And even though Brisbane Roar look like they're going to be on the wrong side of this result today, they're not necessarily going to be punished on the ladder too harshly for it if they get that favour elsewhere. Can they get out of these final minutes? Of course, they've got Ruby Cuthbert on for her first minutes of the season. They've got Kyla Hansen on for her debut. So some players that will still be relishing just the chance to be out there and show their stuff and what they can do. It's Michael Matriciani, himself a pretty handy player, former Adelaide United A-League men's player, gets his first touch. And here comes Danella Buttress. Chinaza Uchendu is going to be part of a double sub here. So Uchendu, the Nigeria international, who started against Western Sydney Wanderers during the week, but has been able to save her legs today, comes on for Shelby McMahon. And Danella Buttress, welcome back for the first time since the 16th of January, comes on for Briley Henry. So a first goal of the Ninja A-League season for Briley Henry, and she leaves the game. And Danella Buttress, who suffered a concussion that ruled her out for 5 consecutive games, is now back and ready to continue her debut season in the league. And I can tell you that Mary Stanich-Floody has just put Canberra into a 2-1 lead. But we'll stay with Devon Jackson here because she's looking for Uchendu, fresh off the bench, and it's intercepted by Cuthbert, who gets the ball away from McNamara. Well done by the 18-year-old defender to stop City having a tap-in for number 6. Kinsella up against Buttress, Stevenson. Played it into a contest between Brown and Stott. Now Hayashi putting the ball over the top. Hansen has got defenders and keeper to deal with, though. High clearance from Milena Mires. Angie Beard. Now Holly McNamara. Gaps opening up. McNamara lays it off to Keane. 18 Keane. Oh, looks at the top right corner, but puts it wide. Here's another look at the Uchendu chance. And you can see why Ruby Cuthbert is so highly rated as a defender. Injuries have starved her of game time, but she was in the right spot exactly when needed there. But yes, to matters at Leichhardt Oval, Mary Stanich-Floody with a long bomb has given Canberra a late 2-1 lead. And so now they are back within 2 points of Melbourne City at the top of the ladder.
Great job, G.
Of course, those two teams will still face off against each other in Melbourne in the home stretch. Got a bit of a delay here as Angie Beard gets ready to take this restart. Beard down to Kinsella. Trying to take on Jackson. Back to Hayashi. Into the box for Brown, who was trying to steer it back towards Stevenson. Instead, the ball spilled and Holly McNamara capitalised. McNamara has got Keane breaking down the left and Buttress in the middle. Keane is where the ball goes. And then Keane against Benty Jansen, held up. Rolls it to Rossbacken. Rossbacken shooting from distance. Today's game number 94 for Carly Rossbacken. 3 career goals. Hasn't scored since 2018. So Carly Rossbacken, the goals are collector's items. And that is Holly McNamara's last involvement. One of Melbourne City's 5 goal scorers today. And Caitlin Carriage is going to come on for 2.5 minutes and stoppage time here. The 19-year-old has only played 13 minutes this season. Another injury-hit player over the course of her young career. McNamara takes her leave. Congratulations from Melissa Barbieri. And you see the right knee quite heavily bandaged for Caitlin Carriage, but on she comes. She has 2 career goals. Hasn't scored in 3 years now. January 2023, the last time she hit the back of the net. So really speaks to how stop-start her fledgling career has been. Here goes Devon Jackson. Tied bodies, City breaking into space. Jackson, little sidestep, but not able to advance. Roar get numbers back. Uchendu. Happy to cool things down. Apostolakis back to Otto. Now 18 Keane. Keane able to burst through the left, and Uchendu just needed a more meaningful glance there. Instead it rolls agonisingly across the face. There's been some late drama at Leichhardt. Mary Stanich-Floody has had a penalty saved by Heather Hinds, and the score remains 2-1 to Canberra. That game will finish before this one. It'll give us a picture of how the very busy top 4 looks at the end of round 16 of the Ninja A-League. Benty Jansen not able to provide the spark the Roar needed today. Melbourne City going on with the job in the second half. And we've ticked into the final minute of regulation. Rossbacken. Hansen to Janssen. Hayashi. Still running, Momo, still working. Ross back and able to hold her up. Back to Kinsella. Now Janssen, and good challenge by Apostolakis, wins the ball away. Devon Jackson really grown in confidence since scoring that goal. Sends the ball down the right. Here goes Danny Buttress. And clever defending from Angie Beard, able to knock it into Buttress's shins and then out as we tick into 4 additional minutes to end this one. Kinsella with the throw in. Janssen. It's been intercepted by Rossbacken. Now Uchendu. Hayashi goes to ground. Karich and Cuthbert able to clear. Janssen and Hansen, those two linking up again.
Yes, Danny. Yes, Danny. Let it run, Danny. Let it run. Clever, Danny. Well done. Well done.
So the Roar get the chance to regroup. Of course, they've had some midweek games. They had to do some catching up. Not helping matters was Sydney having to postpone a game from December to midweek this week. So they're back at Spencer Park on Friday. And all things considered, it is a longer break, but still a short turnaround Sunday to Friday. They've got Sydney FC at home as their next game. As we see Keane bring the ball down here. Melbourne City have got a full week to get ready for the Melbourne Derby. The first Melbourne Derby was one of the best games of the season, with City coming from behind to win that game 2-1. So we see a big collision here. Angie Beard and 18 Keane, and they've both hit the ground hard. Punishing end to the match, and trainers and doctors break off the bench here. Tough collision initially, and a heavy landing and a hard landing for both of them. We saw 18 Keane take that knock to the right foot after the slide tackle on Janssen earlier in the half as well. So in addition to being very good, she's also been in the wars a little bit. Angie Beard has got back up. That's the good news for Brisbane as we take another look at the landing. Angie Beard landing on 18 Keane there. So both players will have to go to the sideline here. Isabella Mawson still with work to do, all the way to the full-time whistle here. Still one of the leading referees in the competition, given this assignment today between two of the top teams. I'll tell you that the full-time whistle is blown at Leichhardt Oval. 3 points in the bank for Canberra United. A 2-1 win, thanks to a late goal from Mary Stanich Flooding. So Canberra remain firmly in the conversation for the premiership. And they move 3 points closer to punching their ticket to finals as well. Not much dispute over who's going to win, but goal difference could be all important come the end of the season. The difference between finishing second and third is massive, because top two, you get the week off. You get to choose whether you play your semi-final first leg home or away. Third, you go straight into an elimination final against sixth place. So it's not just top spot that these teams are battling for. There is something at stake all the way through the top six. Here's Hayashi. Fouled by the combination of Buttress and Keane. And hopefully that is just a cramp to the hamstring and nothing more. Stoppage time is up. Any time tacked on here will be due to the collision between Keane and Beard. Elena Meres will want to finish this one. With Melbourne City adding 3 to their goal difference. Of course, everyone's chasing Wellington's massive goal difference in that respect. Melbourne City, of course, they'll back themselves to do it on points with that goal difference coming into the mix, but you just never know. He's keen with the clearance here, and that should just about do it. Those fans who've sung all game at Control Cyber Pitch today are going to enjoy a big Melbourne City win. The subs all just chatting amongst themselves. Job done. So 1 minute beyond the additional 4. And the full-time whistle goes on a big statement from Melbourne City. 2-0 down, but powering back with 5 different goal scorers to win 5-2. And they've gone from panic stations to top of the league, from 4th to 1st over the course of a wild afternoon. And Brisbane Roar, who was sitting pretty with a 2-goal lead in pocket, ultimately had yielded that by half-time, and then Melbourne City went on with the job in the second 45. They have flexed their muscles at Control Cyber Pitch today, and perhaps most impressive is the number of avenues to goal that they had in the end, with 5 different players finding the back of the net. Full-time then, Melbourne City 5, Brisbane Roar 2. And a win that takes Melbourne City to 26 points, plus 10 goal difference, and top of the Ninja A-League. Wellington 2 points back, 24 points, but worth bearing in mind that they do have plus 17 goal difference. So Melbourne City, they get a nice little boost to their goal difference today, but Phoenix still have them on that measure. And now they've